Music is the future. Meow. Hello, 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 and whoa, it's cold. Welcome to another One Lion of Gold. Cold. Oh man, going directly from a call to this, my brain is like mush. I declined a meeting that was scheduled for 10:30, which is the time that I normally start the stream, my time. And the stakeholder that scheduled that meeting was in our stand-up, which usually happens an hour ago. And so they were asking me, like, why did you decline the meeting? I'm like, in the very first one that I canceled my existing schedule for this meeting, I indicated that I have this time blocked out as non-billable hours and it's on my calendar. You should see it. And they told me, okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, if it's going to be an issue, I can reschedule my stuff, but let me know so that I can schedule it differently. And they're like, no, it's fine. You can do that. And so over the past 2 weeks, they've been trying to schedule a meeting at that time that's already blocked off on my calendar that they could see when they are scheduling the meeting and inviting me to the meeting. It's like, that's not on me. Oh man, that's high. Anyway, hi. Happy Wednesday to you all. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Sorry for the immediate rant. I'm going to send out the announcement indicating that this stream is live because the bot isn't doing the bot work. Okay, that's all. Hi. We are here playing with fire, and I love fire. Yeah, frustrating when what should be clear isn't. You understand. And I mean, like, for me, it's a really important thing, like respecting other people's time and having my time respected in response. It's a mutual thing that happens. And when you don't do that, it is disrespectful to me. Not you guys. You guys are amazing. But I do place a lot of value on respecting each other's time. Not to mention just having a base level of respect for each other. Okay, to the main screen. Away. So this is our stream. Our stream, we don't normally, I guess I have been normally doing a lot of ranting for situations that just happened. But what I meant to say was the diaper namespace animated splash could not be found. Are you missing something? I think I am. Why would my release not be able to see my new WPF window? No idea. I have to figure that out. I was trying to build my branch through our pipeline, and apparently my new addition, that doesn't make sense. I added a .xaml.cs to my WPF app, just a regular old this thing. It's not going to load. Animated splash WPF window, and I called it animated splash. That I move all around the screen just to frustrate the user. No, I do not do that. And so I did this in dev and everything built. The splash screen looks perfect. It animates without any glitchy UI lag stuff while the background processes are running to load the rest of the app dependencies. And then the UI, and then the UI finishes loading, pops up, dismisses the splash screen. But when I am doing the pipeline build, it says that doesn't exist, which is very, very confusing. So I'll have to debug that. I just wanted to see it work in the pipeline so that I could do a PR. Dagnabbit. Anyway, there's our project. So we've been working on this financial management calculator application for, I don't know, going on 12 years now. At least it feels that way. But it is an Blazor multi-platform application in which we are targeting browsers as well as Windows desktop, specifically with this WPF, and then Android, iOS, Mac, Tizen, and Windows again using the Maui app. All using the same user interface, Blazor user interface. My hair is tickling my forehead. And so the application currently looks like this. We started this application as a stream project because I still wanted to do a lot of Blazor development with you guys and hang out with you and enjoy our time together. And so we did. And so we are. And so we will. So we created this Blazor, or we created this project. We came up with this project. I talked about a few other ideas and we ultimately decided on this one. I think it was just me that decided on it because not too many people had too much of an opinion on it. So we ran with it. And we created the design for it, the decisions for what kind of backend to use, what kind of database, hosted API stuff, of course, what language, which we all knew it was going to be .NET using Blazor. Everyone knows this. So we created after creating all that, we did the implementation stuff. We tried to keep good practices. So as I posted, you can see it on GitHub. It is public, and we're currently in the 32 add built-in calculator branch. If you want to see the latest code. How is this behind main? Huh? Hold on a second. That says it's behind main. I have changes. What's going on? What day is it? Save everything, please. Including CS Proj for Maui, please. Why not? Why won't you? Well, hopefully it'll prompt me to save. What changes did I make? I added, I got rid of a carriage return. And we started styling. Right, we'll do that then. Started styling active calculator. Yeah, that's it. Started styling active calculator. Local commit so that I can overwrite this. And yes, save and commit, please. It's not saving. I'm just gonna close it. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. We're fine. Save. Are you gonna save? Are you gonna go my way? Okay. Open this. I want to know. I didn't create a link for myself. Looks like I won't be attending that one. Water, please. Okay, I wanted to switch to main so that I can. All right, so my local repository is up to date. That's interesting. Why isn't my branch up to date? Normally, my 2 steps are when I update my local, if I have any branches that are in process, then I merge my main. There are changes. Why am I behind? I'm a little behind. There were changes to test and calculator. What change? Let's find out what these changes are. Yeah, that's pretty bad. So we're going to keep our current. Anything? So this is the dismiss button that we just added. This is our actual UI portion where we're displaying the layout. We changed all that around. We got rid of the modal because now it's inside of a card and inside of a draggable container that is inside of a modal. Actually, it's not inside of a modal. It's just inside of a draggable container. Right. Okay, so that's going to be fine. We're going to keep those. And I am assuming we're going to want to keep all of our current changes only. Not what it used to be. The additions. Wait, what is all this? Handle. Oh, oh. You know what? I think just because I'm lazy, I think I'm gonna keep this logic for the handle remove. Do I actually have to? Okay, good. So there was only one conflict. Yes, yes, yes. Keep all my stuff. Keep all my stuff. What are you? Handle operator clicked. We changed that logic around completely, so I want to keep our version instead of past us version. Good, good, good. Good, good. Yeah, we're good. Keep. Let's go. Wait, I missed one. Calculator tests. We added a. No, we added some to. No, we added some tests. Okay, good. Once again, keep all of our changes for the test. This is. Unless that's what this branch was for. Nope. That branch didn't even have half of the tests that we created. So I think we're good to go. Although now that I have changed the UI, not for this thing. I saw some errors. Since we changed divide to ampersand div, I wonder if our tests that use the divide are going to fail now. I think we'll figure that out. Decimal part is a string? Why would I have done that? Hello, good VJ. How is your middle of the week? How is everything going? How is your educational program going? Are you succeeding like I know you are? Decimal part as number. And then we'll change. Oh, come on, computer. Everything is good, succeeding well. Grades are also going well. That is awesome to hear. Um, I think I made a lot of people get quiet because I was being a little, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? A little ranty. Ranty. I don't want to do it this way though. What are you wanting me to do? I did not mean to. It was just, it was a sudden thing that happened, is all. Oh, yay. Right. So we need this to still be decimal part equals this to string. Okay. Got it. Oh, I gotcha. And then same with whole number, which is now a long. It's just called whole number part. That's why. Hope that logic works. Let's go ahead and test it out real quick. See what this thing looks like. Make sure that the delete button works. Just as I am pursuing masters, I'm overthinking midnight. That if I should switch my career to DevOps. Okay, so you are second guessing, I think is the term that we would use. You're being kept up at night deciding whether you should switch to DevOps or data science or analysis. Can you provide any guidance on that? Can I? Ooh. Donnell watches now. So you're wanting to know whether you should change your focus, correct? Like, what is your current focus? Are you... And if you've told me, I apologize for not remembering. Ooh, broken. Input string was not in the correct format. I was kind of expecting that because it is string.empty. And so what I need to do is if string is null white space, and actually I'll do that outside, make it easier on myself. I'll do that here. String is null or white space, make it 0, 0, decimal, 20s, else. Okay, I'm not sure, but mainly web development. Currently had experience in working on JavaScript full stack. So you're wondering if you should focus your masters or you're saying your career in general on DevOps, data science, or analysis. Because this is definitely hard to give advice on as far as what to choose, because that is entirely up to you. So many factors come into play, like, do you think you would enjoy doing those things, or if that's even something that matters to you, enjoying the work that you would do as a result of pursuing your education. Yeah, there are so many factors that might matter to me that don't matter to you. However, in general, I mean, it sounds like you are just getting started with your master's. So, with just getting started, that might mean that you have the flexibility to um, to go into one of those specific directions, like data science, for example. And right now, data science is a really hot topic. It is what a lot of things are turning into, really. Like, we have a lot of abstractions with AI services or ways to host AI or ways to build models and stuff. So other people have come up with that for us and we just use it. But there is still some amount of data science needed to structure the data that you're going to feed to your tailored model, if you're even going to go that route with whatever. I know that with Sagetti, they're really wanting to pursue using AI in everything they do. They want their clients to be using this technology, and so they want a lot of people that are well versed with how do we get a whole bunch of existing data from our clients, feed them through some kind of training process, and then at the end spit out some kind of model that they could use for whatever industry the other person is in or the client is in to benefit the end customer, but have us be the company that does it for them, kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm not sure, but mainly web development, focusing on career. Same time I scored low in maths in school and bachelor's. Yeah, so like, again, I'm primarily focused on application development. And while I did do my AI 900 studying and did the exam and all that stuff, I honestly don't know what it takes to be a data scientist with all of these tools that I just talked about. So, for example, cognitive AI services on Azure, where you feed it your data, but you have to know how to transform your data. You create a pipeline, and then you either go from an existing model and improve it, aka fine tune a model, or you turn your data set into a question answer kind of thing where you can query it and ask it things based off of indexes that were created on it, or a regression model to do predictions on it, or forecasting models, or any number of things. Hello, I'm Anita. So if that sounds like not if that sounds like, I'm trying to get to, I don't know if that's what if that's still considered data science, if you're the one that is the one that's setting up these clouds infrastructure and cloud systems for other people. Um, gosh, yeah, I don't know that I'm being much help right now. I'm not sure what advice to give you. Go with your gut. The thing that you are currently interested in, as long as you think that it's something that you want to maintain as a career, go after that, get your knowledge in that, focus on it. It took me 6 years before I decided to focus on enterprise systems and databases for my bachelor's degree. Yes, that means that my bachelor's degree took me more than 6 years to get. But at the same time, I'm glad that I was able to find something. There we go. That I really, really actually enjoyed and cared about. So, automation, enterprise applications, and database type stuff. Oh, no. Almost. Almost. What am I thinking? If oh man, this is gonna be hard. I have a thought on this. Okay, so I need to stop thinking about that so I can fully answer your question. Is any of this any kind of helpful? I know that it's kind of all over the place, but and anyone else, if you have any thoughts on whether GoodVJ should change his focus from web development or application development to something more like data science or DevOps. What's another one? What is that even called for computer science? Which is software architecture? I don't know. Becoming an architect. Because that's another big one that a lot of companies do like. As a new master's graduate. That's what I said. What'd you hear? Me too. I don't know. It's a hard one to answer because it's very personal to me. Like when I choose that I want to do application development, it is personal. It's that I really enjoy this. I have a lot of experience with it now, and I just get I don't know, I just love it. I love the technology that goes into it. And those are all personal things that I use to identify whether or not I'm going to keep trying to do it. So look into yourself, look into your heart. There's nothing else you can do. Look into your heart when it's calling for you. I don't know where you're going. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I need to, what I need to do is figure out if decimal part is already 0 at this point. Then I need to make decimal part string.empty. So that's one thing that's going to fix it. But I have a concern about the way this is going to work. And that concern is, first I'll do this so that we can see it work. Dang, didn't work. Well, then again, hot reload might not be hot reload. Wherever you go, you'll take the relevant skills. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, considering your actual career, that's a better, thank you for unlocking me a bit, Amanita. The thing that I kept doing was considering the entire thing where it's like, once you commit to one of these career choices, you're also committing to that field of study, but not necessarily. So Amanita's statement about wherever you go, you'll take the relevant skills. And I'm assuming that you mean you will get relevant skills out of it and take it to wherever you go after that. Then it really does boil down to, what are you currently interested in pursuing? Like, I know you said that you're kind of thinking about these other options, but is there one that actually interests you? Or do they all interest you equally, and that's where the struggle is? Or do they all not interest you, and you really do want to just do web development or application development, but you think that these other options are going to be more lucrative, more you're able to get a career in those easier? Because again, that could be one of your major concerns. How easy is it to get a job with those other skills? So if you aren't sure and they're all equal on your pros and cons list, apply for positions or pursue opportunities in all of them, and whichever one you happen to get, go with that until you're like, I just realized this one isn't for me, or man, I really love this, I'm glad I chose this, and then keep going in that direction. Oh, that is more the type of advice I should have given, or would have given. My brain wasn't scattered. Nearly impossible to have a taste of all of them. True. And that's what I had to learn. I had to learn that the hard way too, which is why university took me a long time. But when I did focus on the thing that I wanted, I can look. Good VJ. There. Okay. Responded. So I was saying something about not being able to do all of them in response to your last thing. Mine honestly was, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to create stuff. I wanted to be an inventor, and software just happened to be the thing that I considered close enough to being an inventor, because I'm not good with physical world things, so I couldn't create actual things. Like I tried using an Arduino to create physical world stuff and invent that way. I'm just no good with physical stuff. So software was just something that brought me a lot of joy, doing software development, writing code. And so I went with it and I ran with it, and I'm going to keep running with it for as long as I can. Yeah, we can discuss that stuff some more offline. But for now, we're going to continue on with this logic. So let's see if this thing gets rid of my decimal place when I go back. We should turn this to 0. Oh, but right now it'll be 0.3. Aha, digit count. So the thing that's going on in my head about why we can't just use 0 directly, up here specifically, is because what about the case when I use 2.03 and then I go back 1? So it is 0 at this point, but I don't want to get rid of the decimal point, because it could just be that the user wanted to put another number after the 0 here. The only time we want to get rid of the decimal point is when we only have 1 character left and we're trying to go back. Which we could simply do this, right? That should work. So we'll set decimal part equal to 0. We already have decimal active is false. All right, let's see what happens. I think that worked. 5.036. Erase. No! What just happened? Why did that turn into 5.3? Oh. When I'm parsing it as a whole number. That's what happened. Oh, even better. So $sign dot this. Okay, this should be what I'm trying to do, right? Oh my goodness. We save that. We get hot reload. This time I'm gonna say that hot reload worked. 2.036 erase. No, hot reload did work, but we can't do 2.0.00. Oh my gosh, I'm not being very careful, am I? Enjoy your lunch, good VJ. Let's actually look at what our values are. Yes, I'm using console.writeline because I don't feel like attaching a debugger. I apologize to those of you that are not happy with this. Decimal part east to scope. Oops, because I said it that way, I started to write scope. Decimal part. Clear U. 5.03, backspace. So the decimal part is 0.3. Therefore, decimal as number should be 0.03. So why did it give me an error earlier and not this time? Oop, no underscore. Save. So decimal active is if decimal part as number is greater than 0, then it's whatever the previous decimal is active was, true or false, and that. Decimal is active. Okay. Okay. Oh, got it. I know what the issue was. Not remove. Yeah, it's substring. Not dots. This is going to give me an index out of range when we only have one number left, right? Why are you still giving me a decimal? So I'm going to do it this way instead. Dot split on dot last. Because no matter what happens, we're going to have at least one element when we split on dot. And we're going to get the last element. But why did it change it to 0.00? I'm making this way too complicated. What I need to do is take the decimal part and just truncate the last character. So if dot length is 1, then we're going to string dot empty. Easy. Oh my goodness. And then this is just going to be decimal part dot length is greater than 0. Okay, good. And then at the very end, yeah, we'll leave it like that. Get rid of this. Otherwise, we're going to do decimal part dot, not dot, index of beginning to from the end. Right? Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with, oh no, that's a whole number. That's actually a long. Okay, what do you do? What do you do? You're going to work, right? 5.03. No, it does not. Because it truncated 2 of the numbers, so I'm just kind of guessing. I feel kind of like I have any 2.03. Erase. There we go. Okay, so then the other thing that is not happening is when I erase here, the decimal is staying active, but is that the behavior that we actually want? Where the user has to deactivate it themselves. Because if we did erase, and then erase again, then it clears because that's when it does this check. So the alternative is we move this here and we just say if underscore decimal part dot length is greater than 0. And then we turn off the decimal point if we are now at 0. So seeing that in action, 5.03, now it should turn off. I think that behavior works for me. Let's see what Windows Calculator says. 5.02, erase. Ah, it stays active. It stays active. So if we left it active, what did I just do? Why can't I undo that? Oh, I could. It was just laggy. If we keep it active, then we would want to, again, mimic this behavior because this is really good behavior. I mean, I'm not intending to, it's just I'm really liking the behavior here. It makes sense to me. So if we have that, then in our UI for our display input number. Yeah, I would do it here, essentially. So what I'm wanting to look at is if decimal active and decimal part dot length is 0, then I want to output a decimal to indicate that the decimal is active. So that should happen every time we toggle on the decimal point but haven't typed anything, as well as when we erase and the decimal point is still active. And then again, we cannot toggle the decimal point off when we have a value in our decimal part. I really like that a lot. And that's just because I stole it from Windows Calculator, because it made sense to me and it's a good idea. Dang it. Ah, dear. I'm going with it. I like it. The other thing that I said I wanted to, oh, wait, I do want to check in the merge from master. So let's stage everything. And this is resolved conflicts from, I said master, from main. Updated, what is that called? Remove logic. Commit. And then we will get back to styling the active window calculator part, because the thing that we're really focusing on now wasn't trying to get this erase button to work, but it was just that I had the logic when I was merging from main back to this. I'm like, why not? Let's do it. Let's keep it. It's already written, and all of my lurky turkey people have already gone offline. Twitch, where'd you go? Code Red Games is online. I like lurking on his channel. Okie dokie. Back to chat. At least Code Rush does C#. True. True. A little chaotic for me, but it does. I say that and I watch mostly game devs where when they preview their game, it's pretty chaotic to me, pretty high sensory. But I don't know, it's just something about, I have a desire to gain skills in Unity, and so I watch Unity developers, hoping that by using osmosis on them for, I don't know, a year or two, I would at least gain some of their skills. It doesn't work that way, but I can hope. I can pretend. We're gonna move you down 1 pix. I know, I'm using actual pixels, but that's because the outline or keep you at 0. We'll add a margin of 1 pix and then a padding 1 piece of calc 0.1 rem minus 1 pix for the top, right, bottom, left. Save. I'm not interested in Unity or game dev. I'm interested in how they write C# compared to other devs. Yeah, definitely. So seeing this kind of almost .NET Core-ish, but still stuck in .NET Framework era C# code And then the whole concept of pretty much everything is a public field. They don't really use properties from what I could tell. They use fields for everything. And then a private field that's exposed to the editor using serialized field, but it's not public. So that means that you can't modify it from outside of the class, but that's still a different concept. Yeah, anyway. And then like class libraries. I'm so confused on how to use, like, let's say that I'm making a game that has a game board, and you have logic that says when you place a piece on this game board, it must follow these rules. So check those rules. So I'm used to having a game engine class. This is like Android dev back in 1912 or something like that. And hello, Thindal. Shout out to Thindal. Good stream. Fun stream. Sorry I always get on calls and stuff while I'm watching your stream, but it was good times. Very good times. Check out Thindal. Fun times on his stream. He's modernizing legacy applications. Did you figure out the assembly thing? The alias thing worked. Cool. And so when I was... I don't have a bad feeling about this. I have a great feeling about this. So what Thindal was talking about is he was using a library, and that, or two different libraries, and he was trying to compare them. They were both bcrypt libraries. They used the same exact namespaces and class names, and he wanted to test them side by side and use them in the same class, but they had namespace conflicts that says this is ambiguous. I don't know which namespace or which assembly this is coming from. Awesome. Okay, so you can actually do it from within the NuGet package manager. So essentially what he needed to do was to, or is it specifically in the project? Okay, it's in the project. What he specifically needed to do was set an alias for one or both of them, doesn't matter, and then use those aliases. So let's say that I wanted my client here to have an alias of taco. Then everywhere that I would use this, I would do extern static and then use that alias : yeah, cool, that works. Or I guess, yeah, tell me, what does your using statement look like at that point? Yeah, so it's alias for the assembly : regular namespace. Awesome. And then he aliased the using to that as well. So he's aliasing the assembly and then aliasing the using so that throughout the class he can use new bcrypt and old bcrypt. You said you like C# and how other people use it. So that's how Thindal's using it, but it's a really good solution. It's really cool. I was looking, is this C#? It's more like C++. And it is the recommended way. We saw it in the Microsoft docs as this is how you do it. I just did a quick search for it, and that's where I found that out. And then he ended up using it, and I'm glad you got it to work because it was my first time seeing it too. But yeah. Well, I mean, let's just do it in. I don't have a reference to it here. Give me a class here. Okay, so this would now look like extern alias taco. And then anywhere that I have using anything from my client project. So where is my client? And in fact, I don't even know why I have this dependency anymore. I really don't know. This is really a standalone API. I guess maybe it's needed for hooking up the mechanism for when I run the hosted API, it launches my client UI by default. Maybe. I don't really know. But anyway, let's say that I was taking something from client. For example, I don't have any classes in client. I don't know why I went to add new. I like using Shift F2. Some new class. And here's my namespace. And here's my the thing. So you can see that my namespace is currently fineandman.client.someNewClass. But if I had another project or reference that has the exact same namespace, fineandman.client.class, or some new class, then I could alias both of them and then specify which one I want to use using my client fineandman.blazor fineandman. Equals taco fineandman. So the thing that I wasn't sure of is, did you really have to do this, or could you, if you only had one assembly? Like, you don't have to alias. You could use the one assembly, fineandman.client fineandman.client.someClass. Kind of looks like no. Kind of looks like you have to use the alias. Some new class. Yeah. Using global. I've seen that one in when it's been adding references for me. Oh, you think you can do it when you instantiate it? That's cool. So var some new class. I could specify the entire namespace, including assembly name, fineandman.client : fineandman.client.someClass. Still being weird though. Is it because it's aliased? Like, you can't do that. And it doesn't look like it wants to work. Okay, so we're fairly sure that you need to have alias, I think. Oh, other way around. So like, if I had the alias still, then I could do taco : instead of using alias. Equals taco : up here. Gotcha. Okay, so the left of the : needs to be a keyword, or the alias needs to be empty / global. Okay, so then if I had using global : that would also be a thing, because that's the default, which is essentially what all of these are saying. Using global : fineandman.shared. Okay. So now what did I break? Icons does not exist in the namespace. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did not mean to break you, app. But yeah, I love learning these things. These are really cool stuff to figure out. I love it. Fun times. We were talking about .NET streamers versus Unity streamers, like application developers versus game developers, and liking to watch them. So I definitely understand that, and I have been wanting to raid more .NET developers. It's just that the .NET developers that I see, I'm not really following very many regular C# .NET developers, to be honest. Like, I'm not even following Code Rushed. I'm following Thindal and who else? Miss Pixie, who sometimes does gaming. Mila Mori was doing some learning, but then I think she just dropped it. Elisha was doing a lot of .NET stuff, and then she had some life circumstances, so now she's doing a lot of just chatting with the community. Yeah. I'm already like through, I don't know, 80 people that I'm following. I don't know. I can't guesstimate. This is probably only 40. Plural Site, which I don't even know if they do .NET Dev. It's just someone that Thindal liked, so I like them too. Jitter Ted was doing AI stuff, I think. But anyway, very few is what I'm getting at. Very few C# .NET developers that I'm following. Xcoding is one of them. Although he does other things other times. Anyway, point is, I enjoy watching game devs more. The end. We got a zinger coming. What's a zinger? Empower through design. I really, really like your username. Is that your company name? Do you have a company? Because it's a good company name if it's not. Currently bashing my face on null references in Unreal Engine blueprints. So the thing that I was wondering though is, even though you can't really use .NET 7, .NET 6, or maybe you can now, I don't know, in Unity, can you still change C# lang to C# or to lang version 11? Oh yeah, Jeff Fritz, I'm following him. Yeah, and I lurk on his stream as often as I see him streaming. Absolutely. So again, he does Blazor, he does .NET, so someone that I want to osmose information from. Code it live, I guess, also ish. Like most of the time it's I can see his face, but I can't think of his name right now. Most of the time it's him doing .NET. Ed Charbonneau, thank you. Doing Blazor, but then there are times when it is other people doing Python or JavaScript because they want to do those things. But most of the time it is .NET. So. Yes, exactly, Thindal. And Thindal's almost always there too. In Foolish Schnabel. I have no idea how to pronounce his name, but that's kind of what I hear you guys call him. Fuel Snabble. Close, he said. I probably pronounced it too German. It means ugly trunk. Nice. As an elephant trunk, okay. So it's specifically an elephant schnoz. Nice. Okay, anyway, this is good. I'm good with this. We got the back button thing working. All right, what we are doing is styling, because everything that ends with a G now ends with a K. The calculator window, so that when it has the focus, it gets the border. When it doesn't have the focus, I still want it to have a border, but I want it to be muted. So let's create two new variables, one for the active border and one for the inactive border. So I guess I would call them border active and border inactive. When you move the calculator, do you call state as changed in every pixel moved? I don't remember. I don't think so. Let's see what happens. That is the draggable container class. No, it's completely okay. Draggable container. So this is in my shared, like right now it's in a separate component library called shared components, but this could be something that I add to my actual Blazor components repo. And that's why I'm putting all of these in their own shared component library as opposed to the regular component library that is used for the actual components for specific to this app. So this one could be used in any other project. That's what I'm trying to say. It is not specific to FindHandman. So here's draggable component. And then here is the draggable container. And the logic for handle drag over would be the place where when you have this thing grabbed and you're moving it around, that's what's updating its position. And yes, the answer is it is calling that on everyone. What I was wanting to do is essentially find some way to like pass a cancellation token or something so that we can cancel the re-render and then invoke a new re-render. But I don't know what that would do to it. So another thing that I was thinking is having a transition for the position. So in CSS, having a transition for position so that I will only take a sample of the position every, I don't know, 30 to 200 milliseconds. And then I will update the position, and then CSS would take care of animating from its current position to the new position or something, if that's a thing. I mean, I could still do that purely with C# where I say, here's your new target, start moving the position from its current position to that new position and take this amount of time to get there. But yeah, actually that's probably the way I would prefer to do it. But that way we're reducing the number of state has changed. So what that means though, now that Scott mentions that, is if I'm running this as Blazor server, that's going to be terrible performance. Because for every state has changed, it's going to the server and saying, server, re-render, find the diff, give me the changes to apply to the DOM. And so that round trip every 1 to 2 milliseconds, yeah. And that's how you DDoS yourself. Very true. I mean, I don't think it would be enough to DDoS. I don't know, I guess. Like it's a very, very, very tiny process. So you'd have to be doing this for like hours and fast enough so that it sends enough requests, and many people doing it at the same time, where this really is just solo player app. What else did I miss? Okay. I guess no, because it transpiles to C++. We're going up, 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 up. Before that, before M powers, said we got a zinger. I still don't know what you mean by we got a zinger, but that's fine. Okay, it works. Every possible. Class 1, file name. File name is the best class name. Yes. Right, taco everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Other way around. Colons. It's fun, fun, function. I used to watch Fun, Fun, Function a lot. That was a really cool channel. He came up with some really crazy stuff in JavaScript. Okay, I'm currently bashing my face on null references in Unreal Engine. It's fun, fun, fun. Blueprints. Yeah, I would have no idea how to debug any of that stuff. The thing that made me think of whether you can turn on C# 11 in Unity projects is primarily to be able to use nullability. I've gotten so used to nullability and have ran into very, very, very few null reference exceptions that I want it turned on for everything that I do from now until the end of time. It's so good, so helpful. But yes, so Scott was agreeing that on Code It Live, one of the streamers did WPF yesterday. Yeah. So I'm okay with seeing WPF because my main project is WPF. Nullable enable, I think that is specific to the SDK though, isn't it? I could be wrong. So when you're adding that to CS Proj, try doing that in a Unity app. I don't really know what happens. Actually, you know what? I have one that we can try it out on. I'll just let it load in the background while we keep doing work. Oh, I think we have a reference. I will take a look at that shortly once I catch up in chat. Code It Live is always nice. Alyssa adds Sam and Catherine. Yep. And then Jeff Fritz, he was on yesterday, and more, but those are the ones I recognize. I wish Eagle was still streaming. That'd have been nice. I'll miss him. But definitely understand that it's a bit of a time commitment, even if you only stream 1 hour every other day. Or 2 hours, or... Yeah, Soft Isn't Software. He comes on. And Captain Commerce. And Swameware. Whenever he comes on, which I haven't seen him stream in forever. I think Maiden... Ariana was also a .NET developer. Does that sound familiar? But I haven't seen her stream forever either. I'm seeing games. And just chatting. I think I followed her because she came here and rated our stream. And so I followed her. Anyway, not a thing anymore. So yes, mostly Unity devs. Okay, moving on. A teacher trying to design educational games. Awesome. That will be my company name if I ever make a game worth selling. It isn't too, if you live in the US, it isn't too expensive to go ahead and register your company as a single member LLC. Taxes aren't very different at all unless you start generating revenue. Then you'll need to do stuff like, what's the word I'm looking for? Doing prepaid taxes, quarterly taxes. But for the most part, you get it registered and the only upkeep is filing costs. Which is like $150 a year in Colorado. And then anything else that you add on top of it. I honestly don't remember how much it was, but somewhere around there. That is awesome. Teacher designing educational games. If you stream, I would love to see you doing that. Let us know if you are a streamer as well. And I have absolutely no idea. I'd guess no because it transpiles to C++ before compiling it. and then Thindal was telling me how to pronounce it. It is like snake, hiss, and na, as in Narnia, and bull. Oh, bell. So snabel. Where does the emphasis go? Where does the emphasis go? On the sna or on the bell? Or on both equally? Or is it snabel? Or is it snabel? Snabel? Or snabel. Got it. Got it. Okay, and that's how you DDoS yourself. Plus, the responses will come back in the wrong order, so it'll move to a different place than your latest. Yeah, I don't know how the messaging system works that way when you're getting stuff back, but I believe you. And then it notices that it's not in the right place, so it sends an update request, and then the previous one comes in and moves it and notices it's not in the right place, sends another update request, and round and round and round. But yeah. This is even worse, though. This is graphical programming. All right, here's my nullable reference. I don't like Imgur. Okay. Your nullable reference is in a blueprint, and it is on this node. And it's either going to be, no, it's not either going to be, it's going to be your spawner. It has to be. That's the only thing, that's the only input you're getting to this. So whenever this whenever this blueprint runs, then your spawner is not ready yet. So if there is another node you can add here, that pretty much says wait for spawner. So wait until spawner is not null and then send it. But again, I know very little about this. I took like 2 Unreal courses and that's it. 18 plus image. Yes. It's not adult. Use, like, if you're gonna send stuff to me, use Discord. Just drop your image in there in one of the channels and then right click, copy image link, paste. Or send it to yourself or one of your dummy accounts. I guess you can't really message yourself in Discord. I use my automated realms account, Discord account, to do that. I do 1 stream a week with 2 hours. I want to do at least 1 more though. It would be nice. It'd be cool. But again, it's a time commitment and I understand if you can't. I need to calm my heart a bit. Absolutely. Oh yeah, that too. It's also the anxiety of it for sure. And then with other personality traits that are specific to you might also make it really difficult. So I understand. And there is no obligation. There is no forcing you to. It would be nice to see you stream more often, but I understand why you wouldn't. Okay, Scott says love sign or something less than 3. Just and thank you. An LLC here costs 2.5K US, but the taxes are annoying even if you make 0 money. And President not sure knew about the negative taxes, the estimated taxes. You won't need to pay anything, but it's a lot of paperwork even if you have 0 turnover. Yeah, it's still extremely convoluted in the US. Snabel. Danish pronunciation. So no emphasis on either in Danish. It's my I don't think about it image site. Yeah. Because closest spawner is null on the first round trip. Spawner gets set on the far right. So that just block it. Ew. So then why would you have your closest spawner connected to that node anyway? I need to check if it's null and then just set it to the first iteration item. Yeah, I mean, if you're pretty sure that it's not getting sent until later in your blueprint. I keep wanting to say pipeline because it looks just like a pipeline. later in your blueprint, then I wouldn't have it connected to anything that requires it to be non-null. Okay, this came up because I wanted to look at the prefabulated emulate. No, I wanted to look at a script. Iris John spawner sampler. Oh yeah. Oh, he gave me some code for spawning. It was really cool. Danish doesn't have pronunciation. It has mumblings with a very hot potato in your mouth. Obviously, says Thindal. We love potatoes. Okay, so here is our project. And so how exactly do we add nullability enabled? Or nullable enabled, I guess is the name of the thing, because you can't just edit CS proj. You have to unload project, right click, edit proj file, and then this is not the same CS proj that you would get in a .NET Core application. This is a .NET Framework CS proj, or XML. I forget what they call this, but it's something. But I'm still wondering if you could change this to Lang version 11 and get the benefits of using C# 11. So if we do that, and we reload the project, and then we go inside of one of our scripts, nullable enable, do we get that feature? And I mean, I guess C# 9 would have had it, right? So maybe you can do this anyway. Maybe you can do this. I'm going to see if the project reloads. Unload project. Edit. If we add nullable enable. Is it just enable? Not enabled. I need to see your comment. Yes, just saying not past tense. It's either, according to Thindal, it's either enable or enabled. Thank you. So helpful. Will you reload? It does reload. Interesting. Okay. If I try to use hold, as double dot try parse hold. Oh, this is static. Dang it. Pay attention. Well, I'll move it down because I don't want to convolute it with static. Oh man. Okay, so it's, oh yeah, it's not complaining about hold not getting an assignment before it's getting used. And that's what I was expecting to see, is that we get either a green squiggly that says hold is not being assigned before it's being used, or that it is potentially null. Yeah, and we even get the green squiggly to say that this is bad syntax, even though we turn nullability on at the project level. It's not null, but it's also not assigned. Oh, we get it on the declaration. Okay, cool. Good. So anyway, yes, it is possible to use nullable enable on Unity projects, but it kind of seems like you need to do it on a script basis. Per script basis. Who wants to read when you can experiment and hope for the best? True. Why would I go to the internet and ask it if you can use nullability in Unity projects? Why? Anyway, I was racking my head. Oh, but yours was specifically racking my head over .NET Standard. Do you write it as .NET Standard 2 or do you write it as .NET Standard 2.0? And it's .o, FYI, for us. But he was breaking his brain over it when he could have just taken 2 seconds to internet search it. All project templates starting with .NET 6, C# 10 enable the nullable context. But again, that's specific to .NET projects, like when you're creating them in Visual Studio. These are Unity projects, and I just happen to be using Visual Studio as my editor for Unity scripts. Did I say 11? I meant 10. Right. But as you saw, which again, this is not .NET 6. So that's where I was saying, is it SDK specific to be able to use the nullable property? What are these called in XML? These are called properties, right? The XML property nullable. And it looks like you cannot in this kind of CS proj. In anything that is not .NET 6 and above. Like we would need the whatever the thing is up here that tells us. I call them properties too. Tags in this XML tag. So I trust Thindal because he spent a lot of time working with XML. So yes, tags. Now, can we call everything that's inside of angle brackets a property as well? With inner XML or content? And then are these properties or are these attributes? Because in HTML, we call these tags as well, but we call these attributes. Yeah, so then they are attributes. So it's the same terminology used in HTML, which makes sense because HTML is essentially XML. Yeah, but I still think that there is a term property in XML. I just don't know what it's used for. Oh, Thindal's saying they don't exist. Okay, never mind. Ignore what I just said. But if we understand what you mean, who cares? I care. I want to get it right. I want to say the right thing. But anyway, we did learn that you can use nullability in Unity C# scripts. So that was really cool. I guess let me run because the... Oh, did I delete it? I hope I didn't delete it. Okay. It just didn't update yet because I didn't set the focus to Unity. Okay, so we can still see that I have nullable enabled. Preprocessor command, precompiler command, whatever it's called. So do we still run? I don't think I even have the spawner attached. Oh yeah, I do. I have a spawner game object, which I'm assuming I have the spawner Irish John spawner sample. Why? Yeah. Why is it angle bracket question mark XML version and then close angle bracket but not self-close. And anyway, look, the app runs. The application still runs, which means that I can confidently now say that you can use nullability in Unity scripts. And that would help a lot of game developers, I would think, with null reference exceptions. Yeah. Quest 3 or no Quest 3? I say the Microsoft Surface flip phone. I don't know what your last phone issue dilemma was. Whatever you chose for your phone is what you should choose for your Quest. Which means absolutely nothing. Oh, this is nice. This is really nice. Yes. Okay. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the within focus. We are getting a border, but now I need within focus to work anytime that I click anywhere on here. And also we can see that the display is overlapping the draggable area. So I need a top margin. Yeah, I'll do it as a margin. So lots of stuff to do. Lots and lots of stuff to do. Let's play. We would like to play. What do you call that? Calc output. Calc output will have a top of. Now what's up with all of this space underneath it? That's the header margin. Wait, do you have, what's going on? The grid has 2 rows. Okay, so you don't need to be a grid anymore. That's one thing. Let's do that. Watching a robot do robot things on a stage right now. Awesome. I usually do margin if I want to force it. Yeah, pattern requires thinking. Nice. I mean, margin makes more sense because we aren't trying to increase the amount of space above this thing in a way where we can style the background color and all that stuff. And the clickable area, we actually want it to move the entire element down so that the top of the element is beneath this draggable area. Oh, and I said I was also going to change the colors. So we started with borders for active items. I don't know. We started with wanting to create 2 borders. And one of them is going to be border corner active. And the other is going to be border disinactive. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to type. And so for now, we're going to make border disinactive this color, but lighter. Why? Arbitrary. Why else? And then border active is going to be, for now, FFF, or just FF. And therefore, in our calculator, our card with focus within will have var border active. And then our not focus within, which we can do as just the regular style, will be outline, pick solid, bar, border, inactive, except as a variable. Like a magic. Okay, so now we have this kind of border on it still. When we put the focus inside, it changes color. So it kind of feels, or I call it a border. It's really just the outline because I didn't want to change the box sizing or anything. So I made an outline instead. Okay, so that works. That works as expected. Maybe give it a little bit of a drop shadow. Offset it in the X0 and the Y by like 2 pixels, feather it or something. And use color RGBA. Gosh, do we want it to actually be a shadow or do we want to glow? I really don't know what to use for dark themes for shadows on cards. It's something that I should look up. But for now, we'll use 000 with some opacity. And this way, it kind of, is it not applying? I think it did apply. It kind of feels like it's sitting on top. What we might do, no, I'm good with that. I was going to say what we might do for the calculator itself is use the anamorphic design that we were looking at before. Since it is a pop-up and it is something that we're interacting with, we may as well make it look like an actual object. But so this is kind of the effect that we would go for within this container. But I don't know. Right now, flat. We've gone with flat for everything else, so we may as well stay going with flat. What do you think of this? I was gonna attend that, but I didn't give myself a I don't care. I didn't give myself a link to be able to click on to go to the meta whatever event is going on right now. But I don't really care about VR. Like, I care about making spatial applications, but I don't care about our current technology. I do have a lot of fun with the HoloLens and everything, but just not super thrilled about the state our physical devices are for it. Okay, so what you're saying is that it's about $700 US dollars. One HoloLens should be the base currency. So anyway, I don't really have an opinion on this. Site. But if anyone else does, please feel free. Yeah.
It's over 9,000.
So if the HoloLens is $3,500, 1/5 of that is $700. That's the math that I did. Hey, you get AA batteries with this. I love seeing when companies do that. Here's this really expensive thing, but we're not going to give you an Ethernet cable or HDMI cable or batteries. Never had one, never tried one. Sounds horrible to the eyes. I don't want to ruin my eyes. If you're talking about the HoloLens, it's actually pretty comfortable, in my opinion. If you're talking about VR, don't have very much experience with it. The concern that happens when you use the HoloLens or pretty much any head-mounted device is the line. Like I don't really care much about this, but I think that I have a thinning spot here. Could be age, but it didn't really feel prominent. It's not even very noticeable at all, but it didn't feel prominent until I used the HoloLens pretty much every day for a year, and then it just kind of felt like, oh, I think I'm killing my follicles up here. Not that I care. Again, it was just something I noticed. October 10th, $500. Yeah, like the only reason that I would get a VR the only reason that I would get a VR device is if I was wanting to have the in-device experience for an experience that I'm making. Something that I'm developing. I don't see myself gaming in it, and I don't see myself doing productivity work in VR. Or use pass-through. I don't want to use pass-through either. The ultimate dream is to have an environment with nothing needed to augment my perception, my vision, other than something that exists outside of me. So context would be a really cool next step if we can get it high resolution enough and not just monochrome. But it would be nice if I didn't have to do wear or carry anything in order to experience AR, where it's digital content visually overlaid, auditorially. I don't know how to turn that into an adjective, or whatever it's called. Anyway, augmenting sound, that seems pretty easy. You just use speakers. What? Augmenting smell, again, something that's external, but augmenting vision is tough when you want to add digital content into a physical environment. I just want to move this down real quick because we're running out of time and I want to get one thing done. We found out that the name of this thing, I do have a HoloLens too, Scott, because I want to do development for it. Actually, I want to do AR development, and the HoloLens 2 just happened to be a really, really good device to do it on. I was looking at, I was deciding between the HoloLens and the Magic Leap and the Lenovo Think Smart glasses, Think Reality glasses, and the number for glasses essentially. And yeah, I mean, a lot of the development I think you could do in a very similar way as long as you use OpenXR. But the HoloLens, they were doing the MRTK, and I was like, all right, they're actually invested in this, until they dropped it. And then they're now outsourcing it, I think, development on the MRTK, that is. So I thought, anyway, here's an entire collection of things that I could use to make spatial computing, which is MRTK plus HoloLens and Unity plus C#. Anyway, that's why I ended up getting a HoloLens. Well, I am interested in cats. Ah, oh, you can't really see it. I'm interested in doing HoloLens development. So I do plan on doing some on the stream eventually, but we got to make it through this first, and I got to get some more experience with it. Okay, calc output. Calc output. Not display grid anymore. Margin top. And we're going to change you to a padding bottom. Yeah, what is all of this extra space though? No padding bottom anymore. On card header. Yeah, so let's just do card body, no margin top. And then card text. Or no padding top. I guess that just means no padding for card body, and then card text, no padding top. There. Okay, looks a little bit easier to read. It's more compact. That's the look I wanted to go for. I think we are really close. We just need to figure out this focus thing. Focus within. Maybe I should use this orange color and then a lighter orange color as the active. Just because that's what I'm using for active everywhere else. Not these are definitely not my colors though. I keep looking at them and I'm like, I need to change these, but it doesn't matter. The point is those are accent colors. That's what I'll use, and then since they're CSS variables, we'll be able to change them anytime we want. And apply different themes and stuff. So I'm going to check this in. It is going to be on our repo as the most updated version. And we're going to say updated calculator styles. See the commit if you want to know what we did specifically. I need to keep reminding myself of that. I want to write everything that I did in my commit message. All right, so that is on GitHub. That is it for our stream today. I never actually went. Gosh. With that said, the only person who I normally lurk on their channel that is streaming is Sedlick. So if any of you do have someone else that you would rather raid today, let me know. Otherwise, I will queue up Sedlix as our raid target. But I'm impressionable. Scott says Sedlix. Let me turn them up. I turn them up. Unmute the tab. All right, and we're gonna set up the raid to Sedlix. So Sedlix is a Unity developer. If you are not interested in watching game developers, then you can hop off the train if you so feel like it. But again, another streamer that I enjoy being on their stream. I have to turn them down while I'm working during the day though, because it can get pretty auditorially hectic. So buyer beware. It's intended for mature audiences. So if you don't want to hear that, then also hop off. He spends a lot of time on his AI Twitch chatbot lately. I also thought he was doing Journ Jam, but I don't remember anymore. But he does work on a game typically. But yeah, lately I thought he was working on Turn Jam. But he also works on his cool little Twitch chatbot that is pretty fun to hang out with and chat with and do. Anyway, other things. I will be posting this VOD to YouTube no sooner than 24 hours after I end the stream. And if you are so inclined, feel free to join us on Discord, where we have a lot of really cool people that are just cool to hang out with and they answer questions and stuff. Other than that, I will be back again on Friday for a community day. So I will see you whenever I see you. Ciao.